For more, I want to bring in now Kayleigh McEnany, National Press Secretary for President Trump's re-election campaign. Scott Bolden is here, too, former chairman of the DNC, the Democratic Party. Thank you very much for both of you being here. Kayleigh, I'm going to start with you. The president today doubling down with his comments about how American Jews who vote for Democrats are disloyal or ill-informed. Does shaming voters actually get support at the ballot box?
Well, the president's making the point that Democrats have betrayed the Jewish community, and it's very important that Jewish men and women across the country be made aware of the facts that Rashida Tlaib had horrible anti-Semitic remarks about dual loyalties. So too did Ilhan Omar. And it's not just the squad. It's not just the leftist members. Instead of condemning these members, the mainstream Democrats of today have caved to them. Nancy Pelosi condemned Omar, and she backpedaled and said, oh, wait, maybe she didn't know what she was talking about. There's a Washington Post headline that Democrats in Congress rebelled against the notion of sanctioning Ilhan Omar, and they could not even pass a clean bill condemning anti-Semitism. That is reprehensible. Democrats have betrayed Jewish voters, and President Trump is making every Jewish person in this nation aware of that.
Scott, your rebuttal.
Well, that dog won't hunt. It sounds good from Kayleigh and the president, but it's just not true. These congressmen have a right, a constitutional right, First Amendment right, to take a position not on Israel and the state, but on Israel and how they disagree with how the Palestinians are being treated by Israel. There's nothing wrong with that. And to paint them with a broad brush and to say they're the face of the Democratic Party belies the Democratic plank and the Republican planks that support a Jewish state. And by the way, American policy towards Israel is not in lockstep. There are some disagreements there. And this protest that these congressmen are raising, they have every right to do that, but it is a global protest. They have support globally. And so it just doesn't make sense to use the Jewish community as a political football to try to separate them. They support Democrats, by the way, 60 to 70%. If he wants Jewish voters to vote for the Republican Party or for Donald Trump, this is not the way to do it.
All right, Kayleigh, forgive me. I'm going to go back at Scott on this one point, because in your political party, when you support people who support the BDS movement, and bipartisan push against that in the House, by the way, Democrats and Republicans agree that that group should not be getting their support. But then you've got a group called Miftah, which has been tied to extremism and radicalization and terrorism, support for that. That was the group that was going to support the Congresswoman Tlaib and Omar. So it gets complicated for Democrats. How do you back these women and not make it look like you don't back Israel?
Well, you do it very simply. They've got a position, and they have a constitutional right to have the position. The Democratic Party doesn't have to agree with that position, nor can you paint the Democratic Party because they don't want to. This is complicated, and it can't be done in sound bites or a 5 to 7 minute interview, whether it's the president or Kayleigh and I talking. These are complicated issues, but they are separate and mutually exclusive.
They're complicated, but they do have rather simplistic answers when Israel says, according to its law, they're not going to let these two women in.
With the help of the president,
because they support BDS. Kayleigh?
Yeah, Harris, you have a sitting United States Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar, who has said that Israel is hypnotizing the nation. You have a sitting U.S. Congresswoman, Rashida Tlaib, who gets a, quote, calming feeling when she talks about the Holocaust. And the two together tweet a cartoon by someone who came in second in Iran's Holocaust denial contest. These are United States members of the House of Representatives, which the Democrat Party cannot condemn. This is horrible. Meanwhile, 60% of hate crimes in this country are against Jews, more than 3 times that of any other group in this country. It's irresponsible. It's disgusting. We condemn it at the Trump campaign, but unfortunately, the Democrats do not.
I want to hold on a second. I went to you for 2 questions. I'm going to go back to Kayleigh.
So don't be hypocritical about it.
Scott, I'm going to go back to Kayleigh because I gave you 2 as well.
Sure.
Boycott, divestment, sanction, BDS. That's just one group where these 2 congresswomen were going to go and they were going to be part of the conference, whatever. But when you talk free speech, because that's where some of the argument has been, Kayleigh, it's not just their words. That is an actual movement.
That's right. It is an actual movement that seeks to destroy the state of Israel by boycotting them. It is the same goal as Iran, who wants to wipe Israel off the face of the map. It's an anti-Semitic movement. It is disgusting. You're exactly right. It's an action. It's not a word. And this is the Democrat Party of today. Now they're talking about taking foreign aid away from Israel, our greatest ally in the Middle East and a beacon of democracy.
All right,
How's that?
That is not the Democratic position. That's the position of these two individuals who were duly elected by their constituency.
You
may
but
want
Scott,
to politically
even
paint
you would
them
admit,
broadly.
and we can't go on forever with this.
Broadly,
but
that's
Scott,
not the Democratic Party. So stop painting them with that broad brush.
Scott,
Just
you
not
would,
true.
I would imagine you would admit that this is dividing somewhat your party. Because
I
either
admit
you
that
are going
Donald
to
Trump is dividing the country, this
It's
party,
the
and the
topic.
GOP,
It's
and the Jewish Democratic
topic.
coalitions
It's-
that are out here.
It's
He's
the topic.
doing that drug
Nancy
narrative.
Pelosi, as the Speaker of the House, had to come up with a condemnation wording for the floor.
Oh, you got a problem with condemning anti-Semitism and racism? Because that's what the resolution said, and it was much broader than just condemning anti-Semitism.
My
you got
point
a
is
problem
that
with
the words were coming from members of your party.
Exactly, and we are a diverse party and diverse ideas. You can't paint different ideas in a party. The GOP
Scott,
has
we know
different
you're
views of the
passionate.
world.
When we get together again, let's not have you overtalk everybody. I gave you 2 shots. I
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
it.
Forgive
It's
me for overtalking.
Kayleigh, good to see you. We'll bring you both back. Thank
Good to see you.
Thank you.
It's a hot topic.